So I just got the question from one of the guys. How do I close jobs? So the customer, I warm the customer up initially, which is, you're talking to the customer, they like you, whether it's face to face or whether it's over the phone. Initially, it's that warm up phase where you just sort of break that ice, where the stranger comes to your house and just to be like, you know, get comfortable. Is this guy going to be forceful? Is this guy going to be nice? Is this going to go? So that initial break the ice period, and then you've got that respect period where they have to earn your trust. Is this guy an expert at what they do? And you've got that whole period. So now you've warmed the customer up. You've won them in terms of expertise, but now you've got the third part is how do you get that signature? How do you get that? I'm sold on this job. And I wouldn't say I'm good at this. So I've never really made a video or anything on this one, but one of the guys just asked me a question and brought up a whole series of thoughts. And I'm on a vendor or making videos so that I don't have to repeat myself all day. That's my whole thing at the moment. Yeah, just make a better company for everyone so everyone does a lot better in all different ways, and we must, otherwise no one's going to work here, and because the income and wages won't be good, so we must keep improving the place, otherwise we're going to be out of business. So the first thing that came to my head, not the first thing, but the core concept of this is, and the way I've approached my life for the last 15 or 20 years, is I tell my internal world, my brain, in any given situation, whether the blender's not working, whether the customer's saying no, or whether I'm sitting in the meeting room of I'm trying to push marketing or push IT or get a new technology that's never been invented, and everybody in the room's telling me it can't be done. I tell my brain, I'm not taking no for an answer. I don't tell the world that. It's not like I'm saying, you must buy my product. I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm telling my brain that. I'm telling my brain, I'm not taking no for an answer, no matter what hurdles come my way. And when I can think in that way, when I put myself in that mindset, it starts thinking of ways of how to negotiate with the world, how to rethink things. Ideas may come up. It may be able to talk to people in a polite way to get ideas out of them, open them up to the possibility of things. And I found this to be very effective for me. Like, I feel as though every week we've done miracles, and every 6 months we've gotten through things that should have definitely closed us down and, made us bankrupt. And we've gotten through every single time, year after year, every 6 months. So just that attitude of not taking no for an answer. The world's telling me no, people are telling me no, the news is telling me no, COVID's going to do this, the world's going to be shut down. I'm just like, no, I'm not taking no for an answer. We are going to survive this. We're going to do well through this. We're going to make something of this. We're going to just not taking no for an answer internally. And then from there, these ideas come up, these thoughts come up. I may be sitting across the room from IT, a bunch of IT people that are experts in their field. They're like, no, Vic, it can't happen. And I'll tell my brain, no, I'm not taking no for an answer. We are going to get this technology out there. And then I'm like, okay, I understand, you guys are the experts in this field, so not to hurt their egos, but this is what I see we could try. And then I'll sit with them. We'll start Googling together. And then slowly they'll open up to the idea. And then slowly and politely, without hurting anybody's ego and making people feel wrong, that will finally eventually get to this outcome. And within reasonability, we don't want to we need to, anything we invent in life has to be relevant to our life right now. Like, if we invent something that's going to be useful in 100 to 200 years time for humanity, that's not useful. That's not a useful invention. We need to invent something that's relevant now. So yes, so that's the first thing. So so this concept, so back to what this plumber asked me is, how do I close a job? How do I get that person to get a signature. So if I'm standing in front of a customer and they're going to give me 1,000 reasons why it's a no, I'll tell myself, I'm not taking no for an answer. Where do I take it from here? Where do I go from here? So they'll say to me, you know, my insurance company is going to possibly pay for this roof leak. I'll be like, I'm not going to take no for an answer. Okay, so I'll ask them, so my brain's like, okay, if I don't take no for an answer, what do I do then? This seems like I have to wait for an insurance company, but I also don't want to take no for an answer. Then my brain's like, okay, I've got a few things to do to the client. I'll tell the client, I've got a few things to do, some catch-ups and reports. Do you mind calling the insurance company now? And while you're on the phone to them, I can talk to them as well. Maybe that will help you get your claim. And inevitably, they'll call the insurance company, and the insurance company will come up with multiple ideas. You know, they might say, yes, we'll come and fix it. The second one will be like, let this plumber quote it, and we can take it from there. The third one's like, no, we're not going to fix it. We're an insurance company, not a maintenance company. So the client, you know, I'm sitting in the car doing my follow-ups, calling people, organizing the day. They come up back to me and say, hey, okay, the insurance company has said I don't want, they're not going to fix it. It's your problem. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, well, in that case, you know, I can give you a quote to fix it. And so this hurdle that's come my way, I've gotten through it, you know. So, and then another hurdle will come, and another hurdle will come. You know? So life's an inevitable, you know, a series of hurdles. That's my first answer, which is keep delving deeper. And I'm going to email out a set of what's called internal congruence questions. So what does that mean? So my philosophy is, you have philosophers, you have psychologists, you have, you know, thousands of psychologists. You've got psychologists from Australia, America, and, you know, there might be psychologists based on Carl Jung. There might be psychologists based on, you know, different areas of psychology, and there'll be philosophers and, you know, art students studying philosophers, and lots of philosophy and how the brain works, the mechanics of the brains. You might have people in spirituality that will talk about the brain and, you know, the subconscious, subconscious. So end of the day, nobody agrees with anybody else. You have these thousands of different psychologists, psychotherapists, people that get paid hundreds of dollars an hour, people that study and get degrees. This is it. This is psychology. But one psychologist doesn't agree with another psychologist. So the only truth is, so each one thinks that theirs is true, but the only truth, ironically, is that nobody agrees with each other. So the only truth that we have figured out is nobody agrees with each other. That's the only truth we have. So based on that, philosophy, you know, a philosophy and your storyline in your brain is more important than, well, just as important as knowledge. So what's your philosophy? What's your storyline in your head? So based on that theory, if after 2,000-3,000 years of psychological research, all the way from Socrates in Greek times to, you know, other empires, all the way to modern psychology, nobody knows what's happening inside the human brain. When a client turns around to me and says, I need to go think about it, I need to go figure this out for myself, I need to go, you know, talk to someone about it, I'm like, if people have been studying this for thousands of years and they still can't figure out what's happening inside their brain, how are you going to take my expertise with your brain, mix it together, and somehow find a conclusion? It's not going to happen, really. So what is my job? My job is then to not only, you know, explain my product, you know, how to fix a roof leak, how to do this, whatever, but it's also to go inside of your brain and then somehow find a conclusion that works personally for your life. So if there is no way if we don't know which psychology is true, then how do we even do that? So I don't really know. But one method that I have come to terms with is just delving deeper. I mean, going deeper and deeper and deeper. They'll be like, just why, you know? So they'll be like, I'm not sure, I need to go think about it. May I ask you what you need to think about? I can help you answer that question possibly. And they'll be like, well, I need to think about it because I usually don't like making a mistake. I'm like, okay, so I get it. So you're saying to me that you're worried that you're happy with my product, you're happy with everything, but you're worried that you're going to make a mistake. So you're worried about, not worried about anything else except that you don't want to be in a position where you've made a mistake in your decision. Okay, cool. So in your life, can you tell me the last big decision that you made in your life? They're like, well, you know, I sent my kid to this school. Okay, cool. How did you come to that conclusion? How did you figure out that you wanted to send your kid to this school? And that was a big decision in your life, something very important to you. They're like, well, I did my research. I spoke to the teachers. I met the teachers. I met some of the students, you know, I spent a bit of time. I spoke to people around me. Okay, so you're saying your buying criteria so that you don't so you don't break your fundamental need of being wrong is going to be, you need to do research, you need to talk to multiple people, you need to do these steps, whatever it may be. Okay, cool. Let's walk through this. So let's look at your research. Okay, look, I'll bring up Google and show you why that your gutters need to be put in this place, you know, and you walk her through the research from Google showing why gutters need to be at this land, or why the regulations from our regulator say it needs to be. She'd be like, do you feel satisfied with that research now? She's like, I think I do. I think I'm happy with that research. Okay, your second need is to talk to a lot of people. Who are your people that you usually talk to? Well, usually I talk to my partner, you know. Well, I'm more than happy to sit here. Let's, you know, even if you do talk to him, he's going to be asking, or she's going to be asking a lot of questions. Do you mind if we have a three-way conversation? So when they ask questions, I can put my expert advice and you can put your expert advice, your personal needs, what your budgets are, what your time limits are, what's pressing in your life right now. But I can answer the questions about that. And that's another hurdle that you can work through. So they'll be like, okay, cool, let's have a chat. You know, the partner's on the phone, they ask you some questions, then they can have a personal conversation. Well, is this important to us right now, etc., etc. So that's all I can think of, just delving deeper. So again, having that concept of not taking no for an answer, because there'll be lots of no's, you know, they'll be like, well, this no, well, I'll keep delving deeper. And whenever, you know, you delve deeper, there can be, you know, repercussions of that. There might be like, you're too pushy. They might feel this feeling of someone's going so deep inside their thoughts and emotions, and all these emotions are rising up. They might take it out on you, even though it's not really your fault. It's just something that's happened in their past and they're associating it to you. They're like, I feel this emotion, and it comes out as like, hey, you're being too pushy, you're asking too many questions. But that's just going to be, you know, a given consequence of what we're doing. So I wouldn't say, you know, that's a bad thing. It's just, you know, it's going to happen. So at that point, you know, you can always, you know, calm the situation down. I go, look, I'm not trying to, you know, get you flustered. I'm just trying to find a solution that works, you know, and just going deeper inside and maybe explain yourself. So, and there's a series of questions, you know, there's hundreds of books on this, but one of the ones I've liked is questions like, okay, Judy, you know, you've gone ahead with, you know, fixing the roof with some liquid flash. So this is a temporary fix. It's just a bit of paint to stop waterproof the roof. And say you do this, and in 9 months' time, you look back on this decision, you've spent, you know, $2,000. Is this going to be, imagine yourself. So imagine's a nice word. People go, imagine themselves in 9 months. And what you're doing is trying to go inside of them, go really deep inside, you know. And they're like, okay, in 9 months' time, Judy, are you happy with this decision that you've made? And she'll think about it and go, well, yes, I am. I'm happy with this decision. I feel better about it. So now you've won this customer. Not only do now they like your product, now they love your product because they've gone deep inside. Or they might say, no, now I think about it, I've actually got, you know, some important events at my house. I've got a holiday coming up. I don't want to have these things happening and a possibility of another roof leak happening. You did mention to me that there was you know, a more permanent fix. Yes. So a more permanent fix is going to be, you know, this is going to cost about this. You know, again, ask her the same question in 9 months' time. How do you feel about that? once that's been done. And they might be like, you know what, I feel a little bit better about that. So you've taken a customer, you've gone inside that customer psychology, and there's always a flip side. You may ask these questions of, 9 months time, 6 months time, how do you feel about it? And they might just be like, you know what? I don't like your product at all. It's not suitable for me at all. Now I've imagined it. Now I've gone deep inside of me. I'm going to knock this house down. I don't need any of this. You know what I mean? So you get a hell yes or a hell no. And that's really what creates a more effective life. You've got a limited amount of time to get a lot of results, to get that, the fastest path possible is what you're looking for. And I think that's a faster path, which is living a life of hell yes or a hell no type of life. And I guess that's what I can think about now. And that's about it. So to summarize, you've got how do I close a customer? How do I get someone to sign up with me? And it's going to be delving deeper. And that's about it. Delving deeper. That's all I can think of. And I hope this helps.